Hey YouTube. So I just got back from a dinner with a birthday dinner with my husband, his birthday, and I'm a little bit drunk. So I thought this would be a really good time for a review. And today I will be reviewing the L'Oreal Telescopic Explosion Mascara. Now, unless you've been basically under a rock, you probably heard about this thing. It's the drugstore copy of the Givenchy, with the hedgehog brush. And this sucker is not available in the US, although I'm not really sure why, and honestly I'm gonna guess that that's not a permanent situation. They'll probably bring it over to the US after maybe a pilot run here. But take my advice: if you have any makeup obsessed friends in the States, they will love you if you send them this, because no self-respecting makeup freak can resist playing with something with a novelty like this. And novelty it is. This is definitely not like anything mascara wise that I've ever seen. There's only so many variations of thick or thin, long or short, bristles or ridges or combs. You can see it really before you run out of variations, and that we probably between all of us have probably seen them all. But this is something we definitely have not seen before. So aesthetics wise, oh, by the way, telescopic, get it? Telescopic. Anyway, so aesthetics wise, this is definitely a winner. Now, as far as the actual quality, this has several problems, and I'm going to start with the main one, and that is mentioned, I think, in every review that I've seen or read of this, and it is a biggie. When you take this brush out of the tube, there's going to be a whole repository of product right here. And unless you're like super skilled, like you're a mascara ninja, which I'm not, you're gonna need to remove this before you use it. Now, this seems like a hell of a waste of product, having to wipe like all this stuff off every time you take this out of the tube. But well, on one hand that is true. On the other hand, well, it's already out of the tube. I mean, do you think if you put it back it's going to shift in some way and then end up on the brush? This is, without question, where most of your smudging, and this is a pretty smudge-prone mascara, but this is where most of the smudging is, where most of your smudges are going to come from. So, basically, you either wipe it off the stem or wipe it off your face. I think those are the only two, like, real options. Now, the Givenchy solved this problem, although not entirely successfully from what I've seen, by having the stem the wand really thick, except for maybe like a little bit here where there's like an indentation where the product can collect. So it sort of keeps it away from the brush a little bit, but this doesn't have it, so you need to make manual adjustments. Try to remove this before you use it. You're gonna need to do that. Now, its excessive tendency to smudge is a pretty big negative in itself, I think, but I actually have a couple more quibbles. One is that this brush has a learning curve, I think. Basically, if you expect to be able to reach for it regularly, be prepared to spend a little time getting used to it and learning how to use it well, because it does require like a completely different approach from likely than anything you've ever used before. Like it'll, how you position the brush, how you move it, where you aim it, how much force you apply to it, how much pressure. Like, you're gonna need to get used to this, and because otherwise it'll just take way too much time to be practical, except for as a special occasion thing. Now, I would imagine that some people would feel understandably reluctant to invest like training time into mascara, that, which brings me to my third point, isn't all that great. Now, honestly, quality-wise, I think we're talking about purely like average, you know, like middle of the pack kind of deal. Now, this lengthens really well. As a matter of fact, there's like this lash on my left eye that it lengthens particularly well. It sort of makes it like a quarter, 25% longer than the rest of my lashes. It's like, yeah, this thing. Now, sorry, alcohol brain. Right, lengthening. It doesn't thicken, and it does tend to clump. Now, I tried this with my fan, so the clumping is not a function of the brush. It is the mascara that runs in that direction. So this also gives pretty dramatic results. At least I got pretty dramatic results, but it's sort of dramatic, not quite in the way that I appreciate. We're talking tendency towards torrential eyes, which is not my preferred look. I prefer something a little more natural. It's not waterproof, but for all that, it does have pretty good staying power. It'll smudge if you apply a lot of pressure to it, but once it dries, it does have a pretty good stick-to-itiveness. You know, it won't just, you know, run for just randomly. So we are talking basically average product with a gimmick here. Now, so in the end, I think this is something that you'll enjoy playing with for about a week, and enjoy playing with this you will. I mean, it's such a cool toy to have that I don't think I can, in all good conscience, try to dissuade you from purchasing if you want to, because, I mean, you just gotta play with it. So cute. But it's something that you will play with for a week, and either you get really great with the brush, and it'll become like one of those occasional things you reach for when you get tired of your regular. But for most of us, I think this will be something that you keep in your drawer, and you look at when you reach for your go-to mascara, and when you're rushing, and you promise yourself that maybe tomorrow you'll wake up like 10 minutes early, and you're going to take the time, and you're going to do it right, and you're going to use this thing, you're going to make it work for you, except that you never ever will, because the results are never going to be that great. So that's it. That's my review. If you have any, let me put my wand away now. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, please leave them below. And thank you for watching my drunken ramblings. Please have a good night.